Hey guys, Kerwan Celestine here from Celestine Photography, and today I'm going to show you how to get from here to here. So stay tuned guys and let's jump into it. Alright guys, so here we have the image from the beginning, and we are going to start first by cleaning up her skin with the pimples. As you can see here, she has some pimples that we have to address on her skin. So we are going to start on that first, and we are going to use a new layer. Remember guys, every time you're doing anything to your images, always on a new layer. You never want to work on the background layer, okay? That is a strictly no-no, okay? So you always create a new layer when you're going to do anything to your image. That way you do not damage your image if in case you need to come back to fix something or have something done, okay? Because you can always revert to your original. Whereas if you do the changes and you don't like something, that's it. You have to either reopen the next image or so, but now you have to start back from scratch, where you could have just removed the layer and then continue from there. Okay, so you create a new layer. We're going to label this blemishes. Okay, and you're going to use right here, you're going to use a spot healing brush. You can use either one. You can use the spot healing brush, you can use the healing brush tool, or the patch tool, whichever one works for you. Okay, so I'm going to use the spot healing brush. I'm going to zoom in a bit. Okay, and you're going to make the brush just the size of the pimple. You don't want to make it too big. Zoom out a little bit here. Okay, so you make the brush just a little bigger than the size, and you remove what you want to remove. Okay, so, and I'm using a Intuos Pro Wacom tablet, so this makes the job a lot easier. So I would advise you guys, if you are getting into the retouching game, invest in a Wacom tablet. Okay, so I'm just using the spot healing brush, and I am just going over the pimples and removing them. Alright guys, and I don't want to bore you through this, so I'm fast forward a little bit so this tutorial does not take up an hour. Okay, so I'll get back to you guys shortly. Alright guys, now that you see we have removed the blemishes or the pimples, how do you want to call them, from her, we can already see that the image is already starting to look much better just by removing the pimples. Alright, so now we are going to get into the technical stuff. Let's remove this first. It's a scar, yes, but I don't want it there. Okay. One last one here. Alright guys, so now we are going to get into the dodge and burn. Okay, you can create an action for this, which I have. As you can see in the previous video I did, I had the same rundown, what I'm going to show you here again. Okay, so we're going to create a new layer. I'm not going to create an action for this. I will do a separate tutorial on how to create actions. If you guys want, just let me know in the comments. But now I'm just going to show you what I do when I create my dodge and burn. So we're going to create a new layer. We're going to label this dodge and burn global. Okay, and we're going to turn this from normal to soft light. You can choose overlay depending on how intense you want it to be. I prefer soft light. Then you, on your computer, your keyboard, you're going to press shift and delete. Shift and delete, and you're going to get the fill box. From here you're going to choose 50% gray. You want your blending mode to be normal, the opacity 100, and then click OK. What this does is it creates a gray layer. If I put this back to normal, you can see this is a gray layer. That's all it is. That's all it is, guys. It's a gray layer. So with soft light, it makes it invisible. Okay, and this is where you're going to do most of your work. If you did not have the layer, I mean, you would be dodging onto an empty layer which will do absolutely nothing. So creating the gray layer helps when you're using a dodge and burn. Okay guys, so from here what you're going to do is you are going to create a gradient map. Okay, and when you are creating the gradient map, always make sure that your top layer here on the color palette is black and the below is white. Okay, so from here you're going to click gradient map. What this is going to do is going to give you a black and white image, which is going to help you to do your dodge and burn. Okay, the reason I choose the gradient map is because it maintains the highlights and shadows as is in the picture. You know, if you use the black and white tab layer from here, if you use the hue or the black and white here especially, it's not going to maintain your highlights and your shadows. It's going to give you a black and white image, and then you have to play with your reds, play with your, you know, your cyans and your reds and stuff, and to get the look that you want. Okay, but we just need a black and white to maintain the highlights and the shadows. Okay, so that's why I prefer to use a gradient map. From here I'm going to select again the curves. Okay, with this curve I'm just going to pull down from the center here just to darken it a bit so that I can see better exactly where I need to dodge and burn, so I can see the errors and stuff. Okay, so this helps with the dodge and burn. Okay, so sorry for saying okay so much, guys. That's a bad habit I'm trying to break. Okay, there I go again. So we're going to group these two. Okay, and we're going to label this help. Alright, so we're going to now select, you don't need to, but just so at the ending I can just remove the group and you can see the difference. So I will now group all of these and I will label this dodge and burn, retouch. So we have our help layer here which we can just switch on and off, and we have the whole group here which will switch off even the dodge and burn. Okay, so that you can see when I'm done the difference. Okay, let's put the blemishes in the group as well, so when I remove you see everything back to the original. Alright, so let's get started. Now this is something that I strongly advise, guys, when editing dodge and burn retouching. Always zoom out. Like, for example, if this is at right in front of your face like this, you're going to see certain errors that needs to be fixed. Yes, like I can see right here, I need to burn in here because you can see some inconsistencies in the skin tone, and these are what that you need to be evened out. Alright, so this is what you see directly in front of you. But I always prefer to zoom out because then you can see more as a whole picture as opposed to if it's directly in front of your face. So we are going to start. I'm going to zoom out and I am going to start. Let's zoom in a little bit more. Okay. And I'm going to start by, sorry. Let's go back. Now you have to select your dodge tool. I was still on the spot healing brush. So you select your dodge tool. Okay, make sure you are on dodge and burn global. Now here's a trick, guys, with the dodge tool. You just select the dodge tool. Okay, my settings are on mid-tones, exposure is on 6. If you're just starting, I would advise you choose a percentage of 4 or less so that you can get the hang of it when you're dodging and burning. 6 may be too intense. If it works for you, then good. I like to start at 6 because it speeds up the process a bit. Okay, now the trick is if you are already on the dodge, instead of having to come here and hold it down and right click and choose the burn tool and then go back again and choose the dodge tool, what you do is you keep it on dodge, which will allow you to dodge. As you can see here, I will dodge out this spot right here. Now if you want to use the burn, all you have to do is hold down the option key on your keyboard or on your Mac if you created one. You hold it down, and while holding it down, you paint. So what this does now is it burns. It does the opposite of the dodge. So this burns. So if I keep doing it here, if I keep holding it down, see, it burns and it's still on the dodge. Okay, so that's what it does. So that's a neat trick for you guys to keep in mind. Okay, so I am now going to, as you can see, there are certain inconsistencies. There are, here you can see there's a dark spot. Right in between you can see there is, I'm not sure if you guys can see, so let me zoom in a little bit. Okay, right here you can see there's a dark spot, and in between here there's a light spot. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to burn in the light spots. Because you want the skin tone to be even, I'm going to dodge right here, dodge this dark spot right here. Dodge and burn is not an easy task, guys. It takes time, patience to get results, but as you can see, I'm not blurring the skin, so I'm not changing her texture of her skin. I'm just fixing her imperfections by dodging or burning. Okay, and I will show you just now after just the difference. These little subtle changes makes such a big difference. You're probably not even seeing what I'm doing, but I will show you just now in color what it does. So the thing you're looking to do, guys, is you're trying to even out the skin tones. You're going to see certain spots that are bright, certain spots that are dark, and that's what gives you that uneven skin tone. So you are now trying to fix them by matching them and evening them out. You can adjust your brush accordingly. If you need it bigger, you just make it bigger. That's why I told you guys it's easier to have a Wacom tablet where you can just use your wheel and just adjust your sizes. Alright guys, I'm going to show you now just this little difference. So let's remove the help so you can see the color, and now we are going to remove let's just remove the dodge and burn only. So as you can see, just by that little bit you can see the difference. How the skin has gone from this patch of darkness here with this little bit of light right here and right here. Just these subtle changes has evened out the skin. And I'm just using dodge and burn. Alright, so we're going to continue. So you go back on your dodge and burn global, you select your dodge tool, and you continue working. Removing lines that stands out to you. It may take a couple tries, guys. You will not get it on the first try. If you do, bravo. But remember, this is a technique that professional retouchers use, and they did not get it overnight. This is something that takes time and practice, but the results are always worth it. Always worth it. If it were easy, everyone would be doing it. So I am just going through and I am just dodging and burning as I go ahead. I am dodging the dark lines and burning the light lines to get them even and to blend in seamlessly. This is also a technique, guys, that you can also change the features of the person. So it's something you have to pay very close attention to detail when you are retouching, because you can alter the person's features. I mean, if that's the look that you're going for, then okay, because we all have a final image that we have in our head. That's how we want our image to look. So if you're looking for the natural look and you want to keep it the same, then just be very subtle with your changes and remember to keep the body or the anatomy of the person's body in check. Okay. As you can see, this is a part I want to show you guys. We can see right here. Let's create a new layer and let's move this out of the black and white. Okay, I will select the brush just for this. Select the brush. I want to show you guys this. So let's select red. Alright guys. So as you can see right here, you can see where this line, the black and the white, right here, you can see that there's a harsh black line here, and then the highlight starts right away. Okay, so this is what I'm going to fix right now. So let's remove this layer. I'm going to go back on dodge and burn, select back my dodge tool. I'm going to hold in the option and I'm going to burn. See how easy that was? Dodge a little bit in here, get it perfect. There you have it. Here you can see before and after. Before and after. you just walk around the image and do the same thing as you did above. You remove whatever stands out the most to you, what looks like it needs to be rectified, and you dodge and burn. Now right here, there's a highlight on her face. Let's put it in colored so you can see. There's this highlight on her face, and I do want it to remain, but not as much as this, because it's sort of like a hot spot. So I'm going to even this out with the rest of her skin tone as well. Okay, let's show you a little before and after again with the forehead, so you can see the big difference, how everything blends in and it's evened out and looks much better. Okay, so now I'm going to put back on my help, and I am going to burn into the highlight. Going to dodge this a bit, this line right under her eye. You can always zoom in, guys. Don't always have to work zoomed out. If there's a line that's really small and you need to get to it, zoom in. Makes your life a lot easier. Never stay zoomed in. Never stay zoomed in. See, now that I'm zoomed in, I'm not seeing the line. Let's zoom out so you can see. See, there's this line right here that I want to dodge when I'm zoomed in. For example, right here, you can see it, but not as if it was zoomed out. Because now you might dodge this whole area, whereas you just need to dodge this little line. So I'm going to zoom back out so I can see exactly where it needs to be dodged. And I'm going to burn in here. So as you can see, guys, this is what it does. It just evens out the skin. That's all. That's all you're doing. You're just evening out the skin tone. There's no easy way about this as well. If you want these results, this is what you have to go through. Guys, the thing about this is it's a technique that you won't get overnight. Like I said, it's something that after a while you keep doing it, you're going to get an eye for it, and you're actually going to see exactly what needs to be fixed and what needs to be done just by watching the image. But it comes with practice. I have been doing this for some months now and I'm still not where I want to be, but I am happy with the results that I get so far. So you're just going to dodge, like I said, dodge all the dark areas that sticks out to you and burn in the areas that are too light. And that's all you do throughout the image. Whatever sticks out to you, you just fix them and fix all the inconsistencies, and you allow your image to look seamless through all the transitions. And that's it. That's all you have to do, guys. You just keep going through that, and I guarantee you your image will start to look much better. Alright guys, so let's take a look at before and after. Let's take the help off. Alright, so here we have a before and an after. Before and after. And you guys can see such a big difference. Alright, so now we are going to go on to the hand. This is one of the mistakes a lot of people forget to do. They will do the face, spend hours on the face, and forget the rest of the body. That's not being professional, that's not doing professional retouch, because everywhere has to get retouched. Even the clothes, if there are certain parts in the clothes that needs to be retouched, you can also fix it using dodge and burn. So the same process, we repeat it for the arm as well. There will be certain spots of the face that, seeing that you use this help here with the curves pulled down, that may be too dark. All you have to do is remove the curve, or if it's still too dark, you pull up instead. Pull up, sometimes you can pull down a little bit here, or just to get to see, because now I can see like right here, Need to burn in here a little bit, dodge here a little bit. You know, but I mean, this is something that you don't really have to dig too much into unless you want the perfect skin, because it's in the shadows. So I mean, it's not something that you're really going to see, you know. So but I mean, if you're going for that perfect look, you can do that as well. If you're designing for a picture for a magazine or something that's going to be blown up, then of course you want it to be perfect. But if you're just doing a simple portrait retouch, or you know, a headshot, it will go unnoticed. So, but I'm a perfectionist, so I like to get everything done. You might never tell. You might never know. They might want to get the shadows brightened, and then you have a bunch of errors in the shadows, and it has to be fixed. So I fix everything from the beginning so that it doesn't have to get touched again. So you can see on the arm, guys, just that little bit, the difference it made on the arm. So I'm going to continue. I'm going to bring down my just a tad so I can see where I want to fix. Alright guys, so now that we have finished the dodge and burn, okay, we just saw this here, so let's fix this. Here, wait a minute. Always walk around the picture, guys. Always take a walk around. Make sure that everything is in check. You don't want to reach the post, to post the image or give your client the image, and then after you see it, the error and you're like, oh my gosh, why didn't I fix this? So just fixing this part right by the mouth, and then I will show you guys a before and after in black and white and a before and after in color. And then we shall continue some more with different techniques. You can always adjust your, like I said, your percentage and make the work go faster, but I like it on 6. The most I go is 10 because I like to gradually build it, as opposed to if you put it on 10, sometimes you end up putting too much and then you have to go back and fix, or you put a unnecessarily highlight somewhere else because it's too strong. So it's always better to gradually build than to go too fast and you end up doing more work and more damage to the image. Alright, so let's zoom out. Let's see a before and after with the black and white. So we have before and after, before and after. One more time, before and after. Alright, now I'm going to remove this and we can do the color before and after. Before and after. Alright guys, so that's basically the dodge and burn global. Now, if you want, you can continue this process on the same layer, the dodge and burn global, but it's always good to create a new layer, and we're going to label this dodge and burn. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing. We're going to select soft light. We're going to press shift and delete on your keyboard. 50% gray, normal, and 100% opacity. Now with this one, what we're going to do is we're going to burn and dodge the highlights, etc., to give her a little more dimension in the face. Okay, so we're going to make the brush a little bigger here. We're going to hold down Alt or Option, and we're going to burn in here, burn here. So as you can see, I'm just giving her some more dimensions. Going to burn over the eye. Not too much, guys. Subtlety is always good. Eyebrows, a little bit. Okay. Let go of the alter option and you could dodge. For the lips, we're going to burn in here. I love to dodge and burn the lips because that's something that's going to stand out in the image. So you want to make sure those lips are popping. There's a little pimple right here above the lip, so I'm going to go back on the Dodge and Burn Global. I'm going to zoom in, and I'm just going to make my brush smaller and dodge this out to remove this pimple. For here, I'll select 10 just to make this a little faster. Okay, let's zoom out and see how it looks. Okay, so I'm going to burn in a little bit here on the highlights. Just to bring it down a little bit because it was looking like a hot spot on the lip, and we don't want that hot spot. So just keep burning until it comes down. Okay, let's try again. There you go, guys. Okay, let's burn a little bit more on the top right here. That should be good. Okay, go back on Dodge and Burn. Gonna put this on highlights, and I'm going to give a little extra highlight on the lip. Yeah. Always back it off and check to see how it looks, guys, because you can easily go too far with this. So let's see how before, after. Okay, now you can do some burning on the forehead. Burn this a little more if you want. Let's see if I like that. Let's do it before and after. Okay, see guys, you don't want to go too much. You don't want to go too much. So I'm just going to burn in here. I'll repeat again, subtlety is always good. Just want the even skin tones. So honestly, you're just fixing the major issues now that needs to be dodged and burned. Under the chin. Put a little more highlight here by the pimples. Burn in here. Next thing to remember, guys, anytime you switch between midtones and highlights, always remember to go back to midtones, because highlights will be too drastic. This is the reason I told you guys it's good to do layers. Let's say, for example, I make a mistake or I go too far on this layer. I can always just delete this layer and continue. Or I can go back on this layer. Whereas suppose if everything was on the background, you would be at a total loss. You would not be able to go back, or you can only go back to a certain distance and then that's it. So I stress it again, guys. Always remember, new layer, new layer, new layer. I thought that was a dimple as well, but it's not. It was actually just a black spot on her face. Okay guys, so that's basically it. Now we have done our dodge and burn. I will show you a before, once again in black and white. Before, let's show you, let's group these two so I can show you both of them. Label this dodge and burn layers. Okay, so let's show you this, two of them. As you can see, the hands and the face, you can see the big difference. Now the skin is evenly toned out. There are no more blemishes on the skin tone. Let's do it in color so you can see before and after. Okay, now we are going to add some color toning. I love blues. I love blues in my images. So we're going to go here, we're going to select here, we're going to go on selective color. You're going to select the blacks from the drop down tab. You're going to select the blacks and you're going to pull the yellow, over to the blue side. So you can choose what works for you. This is obviously too much. So if you go to the right, it will introduce yellow into the image. To your left is blue. Each one has a different way. The cyan is red, of course, to this way, and this way you get the black. This is a nice look depending on what you're going for as well. But I like to add some blues in mine, so I'll put this around, let's see how 20 looks. Around 15 for this. And I'm going to go on the reds and reduce some of the reds in her face. Here again, I'm going to pull. Let's bring it around 15. See, so what this does, it removes some of the reds from her face as well to give her a more natural skin tone instead of the reds. You can also go on the yellow and you can play with the yellow as well. So bring it down. You can pull some reds in or you can bring it. This is something you can play with, guys. This is color toning, color grading. This is to get the look that you want. Okay. So what I'm going to do now, seeing that I want this look, I kind of basically like that a lot. Yeah. So I'm going to now go and put some color balance, add some highlights. If you want with this one, you can introduce back in some yellow as well, or you can put some blue, which I like the blue. And there you go. This is looking awesome so far. So let's show you guys a before and after. Before and after. Before and after. Alright, and we're going to now make the skin pop some more. What we're going to do is we're going to select curves, and we're going to pull right here down below. We're going to hold here and drag across. Okay, you can select how much you want. You obviously don't want to go too far, so you select what works good for you. You stay there, and we're going to select the next curves. Now this one we're going to pull up here from the center. You're going to double click the layer, and holding down Alt or Option, you're going to hold down. For me it's a Mac, so it's Option, and you're going to slide this bar across. So what this does, it removes the highlights from your shadows. Okay, and if you move the other bar across, it's going to sharpen, for lack of a better word, it's going to sharpen the edges from the transition into the highlights and shadows. As you can see, if I put it back, it still had some highlights in the shadows, but when you drag it across, see, it removed almost everything. So you can decide where you want it, if you want it extreme or if you want it just in the highlights. I like it here, so I'll select 90, click OK, then you click the mask, Command I or Control I on Windows to invert the mask, and you select your brush. Make sure it's on white because you're painting on top black, so it has to be white. If you paint black, nothing's gonna happen. So you select the white and you paint in. This is just to give some highlights. Let's remove that from the fence. Put it back to white and you paint the hand just to get those highlights in, and then you adjust accordingly. Bring it down to a percentage that works for you. I already had some highlights, so I don't really want too much more, just a little bit. So let's say 25 works. That's good. Alright. That's looking good for me. See the shadows. Let's drop this down a little bit as well, 50%. Yeah, that's much better. Well guys, there you have it. Let's do a before and after. That's before and after. Before and after. Alright guys, so after you're done, like for example this image, if it's too bright, you can always you can select the brightness curves, and you can pull down a little bit on the curve right here, like around 10. That looks good for me. So you can see before and after, and that looks more subtle for me than the brightness it was before. This was a little too bright, so this looks just right for me. And that's basically it. Alright guys, so if you enjoyed this video, please feel free to subscribe and give me a thumbs up if you liked it, and don't forget to subscribe. And if you know anyone else who would enjoy this video, please feel free to share so that they can see how I do my dodge and burn and they can take something from it. Alright guys, so until next time and the next tutorial, enjoy and keep on practicing.